All right, Shalom. First, I'd start by saying all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. As you can see, the title of this video is Watch Again. Biden addresses global supply chain crisis on the independent. Slakia. So I'm going to go ahead and play the clip and add the precepts.
Things from a toaster to sneakers to bicycles to bedroom furniture. And that's why back in February, I signed a piece of legislation on supply chain, an executive order on supply chains, and we had to move on it. And with the holidays coming up, you might be wondering if the gifts you plan to buy will arrive on time. Well, let me explain. Supply chains essentially mean how we make things and how the material and parts get delivered to a factory, so we can manufacture things and manufacture them here. How we move things, how a finished product moves from a factory to a store to your home. And today we have an important announcement that will get things you buy to the shelves faster.
Right, and I'm going to go into that real quick. This is supply chain definition. It's a noun. The sequence of processes involved in the production and distribution of a commodity. This is on Pt.1. A supply chain is a network between a company and the suppliers to produce and distribute a specific product or service. The functions in a supply chain include product development, marketing, operations, distribution, finance, and customer service. Hold on, Slacky. This supply chain on Wikipedia and Commerce. A supply chain is a system of organizations, people, activities, information, and resources involved in supplying a product or a service to a customer. Supply chain activities involve the transformation of natural resources, raw materials, and components into a finished product and delivered to the end customer. It says, in sophisticated supply chain systems, used products may re-enter the supply chain at any point where a residual value is recyclable. Supply chain link value chains. Suppliers in a supply chain are often ranked by tier. First tier suppliers being those who supply directly to the client business. Second tier being suppliers to the first tier, etc. And then I'm gonna have to look into that, because I know when you drive in trucks, they give you the first tier, second tier, third tier, etc. So I'm thinking that's probably what that's going into, and I do some more research. But anyways, yep. So this is what he's speaking on as far as this whole supply chain thing goes, and this is one of the ways Esau has been making his money with this fake currency. Hence the reason why everything is backed up and going the way it's going from the goods, and prices rising, etc. The ultimate reason is because of the money is being cut. They put so much money into the system, so, and then COVID, with the whole COVID situation, that's even helping. See, they giving out more excuses and cover-ups than anything, but it's ultimately due to the money system coming down, so, and elites have to push their agenda too. So this is Jeremiah. Nope, Slacky. This is Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 1. It says, "The word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, and in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. And that's the elites that set themselves up as gods, and got the God mentality. Change the pictures. They want everybody chipped so they can monitor everybody and everything, um, etc. Man. And they said, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel," because Daniel was a scientist, and Esau searched is searching everything out. That's why they got these think tanks and these archaeologists and all these guys that's doing all this research and getting the answers to a lot of the questions that they have, and it's been given to them, and they're using it to run this society the way they've been running it. It says by thy great wisdom, Slakia. Verse 4, it says, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, see? And has gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. Right, and that's what Esau has been using his understanding to get his money the way he's been getting it, man. It says, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic businesses has thou increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Right, so they didn't got proud behind all these riches, and on top of them getting all these riches and coming up with these deceitful ways and deceitful monetary policy, they worship demons that be giving them this information also, man. So, and that's made them proud. That's made them exceeding proud, man. See, Esau don't look to the Lord, even though they know the Lord exists, and doing a lot of this stuff, they still look and serve Satan. But that's the way the Lord has set it up for them. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations. Right, the Lord gonna raise these nations up against America, man. And they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom. Them swords are nuclear missiles, and they shall defile thy brightness. Right, because eventually America is going to be destroyed. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. This next precept is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 1. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, which is America, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind. That's destroying wind ultimately going to be the nuclear missiles, man. It says, and I will send upon Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And the Lord going to use the nations to empty America out and make America desolate via the nuclear missiles, man. Because ultimately with this whole supply chain and, Esau and his businesses and everything, a lot of well, all the information they got came from the scriptures. 1, 2, we were put in this captivity to build this place up, and that's what we have been doing, and we were supposed to have been let go a long time ago. So that's one of the reasons why, that's one of the main reasons why Esau is prospering. It says, and then plus going back to the blessing that Esau was given in the beginning. He's been ruling this world, but he's been ruling it by the sword, man. And this is his kingdom. It's his time to rule. Our time, the Israelites, Blacks, Lions, Native Americans, our time is coming next. It says, Jeremiah 51 and 2, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadine his armor, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Right, man. So everybody gonna be destroyed that's gonna be left over here in America, man. It ain't nothing they gonna be able to do about it. It says, thus said the slain, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God. Right, man. See, it's going back to us being in captivity and being done so wickedly. See, we did sin against the Lord, but we were supposed to have been eventually let go. But Esau still got us here in our captivity. We are not free. Jake think we free because they can, go about and do whatever they want to, in which in reality they're not even doing that. They still got to pay taxes. They're still under mind control because everything that we watch is a part of Esau's mind control system. We are not able to think as we ought to think. We are programmed basically. And the scriptures is the number one way to help unprogram you, but you have to be of the elect. But this is Jeremiah 51, verse 5. For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord Yahweh of hosts. That's why the system and so much problems is happening with this place, because the Lord is bringing this place down because of what has been done to the Israelites. It says, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. Right, and the way you flee out of the midst of Babylon is by bringing your mind up out of Babylon. The ways that things that you have been taught in a society is corrupt. And in order to make yourself a new creature and have the right thoughts, you have to come back to the Bible, man. It says, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, right? Because America is going to be destroyed. Everybody with the mentality of the image, or the mentality or the image of the beast, which is his philosophies, everybody that got that mentality are going to be destroyed. It says, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense, right, man? So America going to get paid back for what it has done to the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand and made all the earth drunken. Right, Babylon is America and a golden cup because the Lord had them bring us over here in slavery and lift this place up. That's why Esau's so rich, so rich as he is right now, man. Esau didn't lift himself up. See, that's why it says they're proud, because we was brought over here and had to lift this place up. We the salt of the world that's been coming up with all the inventions and building these buildings and, etc., man, and keeping this place going for the most part. It says, Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right, so the nations have drunken of the philosophies of America, ultimately the monetary system, because that's how the elites control people, through the money system. And now the nations are mad because as the currency keep getting devalued by the Federal Reserve, it's bringing all these other countries into chaos and insurrections and inflation and stuff. So that's one of the main reasons why the nations are going to rising up against America and unassociating themselves with their monetary system and trying to unassociate themselves permanently from dealing with them. It says, verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain? If so be, she may be healed. Right, man. So that balm is a healing ointment, and that healing ointment that they have been using, or been trying to use, been using to try to heal America, is the money. The Federal Reserve been printing out QE1, 2, 3, 4, unlimited, and they just keep printing money, and it's devaluing the currency. But not only is it affecting America, it's affecting all the other nations that deal with the U.S. currency that ain't even on the level of America, man. So you putting them countries so far in debt and debt and you basically destroying these other countries, man. But it's ultimately all a part of Esau's agenda, and to bring in this new world order, and to be truthfully honest, the Israelites are really kind of mainly getting it the worse when it comes to Esau monetary system. damn near getting it the worst, if not the worst, because when you look into what's going on in South and Central America, due to the monetary system, especially South America with Brazil, Argentina, and them, people is out there starving, eating each other, etc., man. And if anything, yeah, Israel is getting the worst. Because I was just thinking, like, you got the migrations and stuff that's going on in the Middle East with the Arab nations and the Persians, Elamite nations, because they mixed amongst each other from Afghanistan, Iraq, etc. But Jake and them going through the same thing, and they going through the same migrations and everything, But the scriptures say that we was gonna be done the worst out of all nations too. So, yeah, man, Esau got to pay for that. Esau got to pay for the way he's been running things. That's why everybody going through what they're going through, man. Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Hell for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, every one, into his own country. That's why another way that the U.S. is coming down, because a lot of these corporations are leaving. A lot of these companies and businesses, from gas stations to like Walmart, etc., they're leaving and going to the Middle East because they know America is done. America is done for. America is not going to be healed. America is going to keep continuing to fall while the other nations are rising up. That's why the other nations have made pacts with each other on using a certain currency and to aid and assist each other when stuff go wrong, man. Verse 9, don't nobody want to deal with it, the U.S., because the U.S. is deceitful. Verse 9, it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, every one, into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Right. So the Lord is judging America, man. And eventually America going to be destroyed, man. Salakia. 1 second. All right, Salakia, this is Zechariah chapter 1, verse 15. It says, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped for the affliction. Right, man? So our captivity is supposed to have been over, but Esau forwarded the affliction. Hence the reason why we're still in our captivity. The reason why we still call ourselves African Americans, Latinos, Haitians, etc., and we still going through all this hell due to Esau forwarding the affliction. And all that means is that they still got us in captivity, enslaving us and making hell, putting more hell onto us, man. That's all that means. The Lord said, I was just a little displeased. And when you do our history, whenever we return back to the Lord always comes and delivers us up out of our situations. But in this time, it's only going to be, well, a lot of people died during them times, but ultimately, during this time, the Lord is going to save his chosen. And all the rest of Israel going to be birthed back into the kingdom of heaven. So this is the last go around, man. This is the last time you fucking nations, man. You nations got y'all hands on us, man. It's the last time. So I don't want me to drag it out, but I wanted to get this point across. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz, America. The cup also shall pass through unto thee, thou shalt be drunken, and shall make thyself naked, and ultimately Esau is going to go into slavery, because we received that cup of slavery. So they are going to go into slavery. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. See, our slavery was supposed to have been over, but it's ending right now. It's ending slowly but surely. The curses are going upon Esau, and you can see it happening in your face if you ultimately of the elect have been paying attention. But Jake them can see it a little bit. These devils, these white people coming down, man. Verse 22, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. Right, so we're not going back into slavery up under this devil, nor the other nations. And I forgot the specific scripture, that another precept that go with this, man. Scripture say precept upon precept so you can get the full story. But it says, verse 22 again, Lamentations 4 and 22, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. Right, so the Lord visiting Esau behind all his wickedness, man. He will discover thy sins. Now all Esau's sins are being uncovered, and he's being judged right now as we speak, man. And it's being uncovered by the prophets of the Lord, man. And while we're judging and revealing his wickedness through the spirit and power of Hashem Shah, he's being condemned and brought down in the same token.